So, hello, welcome. We are hanging out. I am hanging out in my office right now recording this, and we're just gonna chill. This video is me decorating a cake, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you it's a strawberry box cake, and I made Italian buttercream for the first time. And so that's the frosting. I think I used like the King Arthur's, like I just googled it and King Arthur popped up, so I used their Italian buttercream recipe, which it came out really good, and luckily I had all the supplies. But it was my first time making a strawberry cake. You know, usually it's like strawberry shortcake, which is still like a vanilla cake. But we were in the store and Jamie's like, strawberry cake, and I was like, get it, you know, like I wanted to decorate a cake, and so that's what we're doing here. And it was delicious when we finally got into it. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that it was really good, because the strawberry cake by itself, because you know, taste testing, this cake by itself is like slightly strawberry flavored, so it's just essentially like a sweeter vanilla but like strawberry flavored, and then but with the buttercream, which was just I guess I did a vanilla Italian buttercream, it just like together they were a beautiful combo of just sweet. I mean, it's all sweet, right? It's just cake, but it was just like the first bite was just heaven, and like not to toot my own horn, but it was really good, because I didn't, you know, the cake was perfectly baked, ooh, and then the frosting was just like, so it's like creamy is the word, but it's not the right word because it's just so light, because it's a meringue based frosting, which is why I was like, I'm gonna be fancy anyway. So now I got that out of the way. I wanted to just talk, and I was kind of like holding off on recording the audio right away because I knew, well, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, and so I feel like talking now. I don't know. So today that I'm talking to you is actually the full moon, the strawberry full moon supermoon, which, oh my gosh, strawberry cake. Yeah, let's say that was planned, totally. But no, today is the strawberry full moon, and when I was looking it up, because I was just like, what does this mean? And I ended up on an article, I can't remember what it was, but it was just, you know, you Google full moon, but I'm gonna talk like planet stuff with you. I don't really know anything, and I honestly just like dabble, because I'm just like slowly learning things, because that's just my style of doing it, when I could probably just get a book and read on it. But so the article said the full moon is in Capricorn, and we also just entered Cancer season, which is Jamie's birthday season, my little Cancer baby. And so this is what I wanted to discuss, and then I'm gonna reflect like as we talk, because like I wanted to reflect during this full moon, and I was gonna like write it out. I was gonna sit outside and write it out, but guess what? My neighbors were hanging outside and I just wanted some privacy. So that didn't happen. So that's why we're doing it here, and we're just gonna talk it out and we'll see how it goes. But so a full moon is usually like endings, culminations, and releasing what no longer serves you, because like essentially think of it as like it's grown and it's full and it's ready to harvest. So technically you would have made like set other intentions on your new moon so that they would grow and you would kind of see them like how they've come along at the full moon that follows. So that's what full moon. And then Capricorn is hardworking. And I only took a couple notes, so this is kind of like, I'm not an expert, this is just what I read. But Capricorn is really like a hardworking sign. So the full moon is in Capricorn, but because we just entered Cancer season, and Cancer is all about like emotions and security and comfort, like think of a shell, a crab in its shell, you know, like it has that home and sense of security and like that defense, but also like soft insides. I don't know, is that too gross? But what essentially all these things are coming together is reevaluating your relationship with productivity. And I'm just talking about it now because it just, while I'm reading, like it was just really ringing a bell for me. And it's just kind of like, what does success, so reevaluating your relationship with productivity would be like, what does success look like to me? Because, you know, like Capricorn, hardworking, like be productive, like be successful. And like, so the couple of questions I wanted to reflect on was, what does success, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but what does success look like to me? And why am I fighting so hard for these goals that I've been working on? And like, I wanted to also like go a step further and see like what actually is resonating versus like what am I just on autopilot. And I feel like this really is just really where I'm at right now, because I did my summer update and I was like, cool, summer, I'm done with you, like I'm living in it. But I did a summer update and that's it. So they are doing some kind of construction outside, so if you hear that, that's that. And so I was like, okay, summer, you're done. I'm now going to start working on my fall stuff because I want it to be huge. Like I love Halloween and I love fall, and I want it to be like a super update, like the biggest update that I've had this year, while also keeping winter in the back of my mind, because not that I keep forgetting about winter, but like my focus is definitely like winter just seems so far away. So I'm trying to focus on fall. But as I am working on fall things and like working on it, it's just like, it was just very slow going. Whereas like it just felt slow. So I would take a break from, you know, you just like, okay, this isn't working. So I'm just going to take a break and like just sketch something. And then that sketch, I would take it too far in terms of like, it was just supposed to be a doodle, and now I really love it, and it's become like a whole piece. And so that was my past week. It's just like, oh my goodness, like I'm trying, like I would sit down and be like, okay, like I'm opening up this Halloween piece that I'm working on, and then I would just sit there and like essentially kind of stare at it and fiddle at it with it and like not really make any progress. And then when several hours had gone by, I'm like, okay, like let's work on something else. And then it would just flow from me. And it's not to say like I'm not gonna make fall things, but it's just like where I am right now, what's resonating with me is summer things. Like I'm redrawing I'm making a new sticker sheet for my cottagecore stationery set, because when I first drew it, I kind of drew these stickers and they worked, but like looking like now that it's been a couple months, I'm like, like I want something different. And so I'm gonna do something different because I am restocking them. Words. And I'm looking at them right now and they're super cute. And then also just like this cute little like, I guess she's not a fairy because she doesn't have wings, but she's the size of a fairy and she's just hanging out with some mushrooms. As well as like some other like just ideas that are just coming. And there's so many of them that I'm like, all right, like they're making their own little like family of like, because it's just not fall, it's just like spring and summer, honestly. And so going back to like reflecting on like what is resonating, which versus which is autopilot, because like I definitely like felt like sitting down to work on this Halloween stuff, after like sitting there I'm like, man, it is autopilot. And like the summer stuff is really resonating with me. And I have the flexibility to work on whatever I want, which is incredible. And I love it. So I want to go with the flow. Like I don't want to like, you know, like go through, what's the word? You know what I'm saying? Like the opposite. Like go against it. And so I was already feeling that. And when I was reading about this full moon and like what, you know, you could ask yourself, I'm like, this is exactly what I've been asking myself. And so, and the question, so yeah, so like it's easy to say like what's resonating and what's on autopilot. So maybe I should work backwards, because I'm like, I don't know what success looks like to me. Like I do, you know, you do, but you don't, right? And it's just like, so why am I fighting so backward? Why am I fighting so hard for these goals? I'm fighting so hard for these goals because I want to have a fall update, and I want it to be big, and I want it to, you know, just be exciting. And like, I also have very like, what's the word? Like when I was going through my stickers, I was like, man, I got a lot of mermaids, but I don't have a lot of witches. And so, I want to balance that out because that's me. And, but like the bigger overall goal is like, cause like fighting so hard, you know, like what are you actually like fighting for? So like, yeah, me drawing witches, like I'm working towards it, but like I am fighting for my business to be a success, and I'm fighting so hard for it because I want, and I'm just, this is me just talking like as if I was writing it down, but I'm fighting so hard because this is what I want. Like I want the flexibility. I want to be my own boss. Like I want to be self-sufficient to where like my business supports me and Jamie and my family, which is like me and my cats right now. But you know, like I want to have a family in the future, and I don't want to go back to having a job where, you know, I'm working for somebody else, because I did that since high school and until last year. Like that was like 10 years of me working like food service and barista and cake decorator and, you know, all that stuff, ice cream scooper, and I'm over it. I really am. And so this is what I want to do, and that's why I'm fighting so hard for my business. And it's growing. That's the thing, like it's growing. Like I can look at the numbers, and I'm not very good with numbers, so Etsy's just like, here are your stats. This is how, you know, like much better you did since last year. And I'm like, thank you, Etsy. But it's just amazing, and like it's happening slowly, but it's happening, which is why I'm fighting so hard for these goals. And another goal I recently made for myself, which I should have made a while ago, because I've always heard it, but like kind of when you hit over 100 listings on Etsy, like Etsy's like, okay, you're kind of taking this seriously, like let me bump you a little bit, boost you. I don't know if it's actually true, but that's one of my goals by the end of the year, is to hit 100 listings, and I think I'm at like 65 right now. So and I've been productive. Like I've been making things and making more things, and I've never been so productive in my life. And so I guess like, what does success look like to me? It would be stability, you know, like being able to rely on like my online store and like predict things, you know, like they usually say some are slower, and I just feel like I'm so small that like there's not really, I can't actually track that. And I also, I mean, I've been doing it for a few years now. 2017, 4 years. Anyway, and so like I can look at that numbers, but the thing is like I've only been growing, so it's only just been going up. There hasn't like, yes, there's been dips, but it's not really like a pattern of dips, if that makes sense. It's more of just like, I've been working a lot, now I haven't been working a lot, and now I've been drawing a lot. Like, anyway, so success to me is stability. And, you know, just being able to live comfortably, and also like having like just running this business. And these are kind of like more like short-term goals, because like long-term goals, you know, like big years away, not really focused yet. But yeah, so that's my reflection on the full moon in Capricorn during Cancer season. Because I want the emotional security and just like financial security, and I want to be comfortable. And my productivity relationship, I think I'm doing pretty good. On paper, I draw throughout the whole day, but I just take lots of breaks and like give myself the time, because I don't want to burn out. That's another thing. That's another success thing, is if I don't burn out. Because I don't want to, you know, it's not worth it. So I'm listening to myself, and that's the thing, like I can do that. I'm whispering now, but it's like, I can do that because I am my own boss, and like thankfully Jamie is able to support both of us right now, and I want to be able to like contribute to that one day soon. But I'm a one-woman show right now, and I know my limits, and I'm pushing, you know, like every day, but I don't want to burn out. So yeah, my relationship with productivity, I get distracted easily. I can get off task, but like I'm still pushing, like moving forward, and it's slow, but it's happening. And I can look back and be like, look at all these things I've made this year. Like, so good. So good. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you for helping me reflect. But yeah, because my business is my focus right now, right? It's definitely like my number one priority. And so when I think of productivity, I completely link it to my business. And success, you know, and goals. I have so many goals. So I think I'm doing pretty good. The self-reflection, I think I'm doing pretty good. And I just have to remember, you know, like, because there's definitely some days where I'm just like, oh, you know, and just have to realign and ground myself in these goals and thoughts and values. Because I just want to keep drawing, and I want to keep making art, and I just want to do it forever. So thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed watching me decorate this cake. I definitely forgot to... That was my timer. I definitely forgot to take a video of us like cutting it and eating it. But it was delicious. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, yeah. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for chilling. And listening to me just think out loud. See you on the flip side. I don't know. I'm so bad at saying bye. Just bye. Bye. Have a good one. See ya later, alligator. And happy summer. Woo.